And we're rolling here. Streaming, nice, nice. Alrighty. You got any cool songs picked out for today?
Um, to be honest, it's the same.
Yeah, nice. Same is good. I like that the vibe, you know?
Hmm.
I like the vibe. Boom, 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 boom. Almost there, almost there. Mm, mm, mm. What in the world? What in the world? What in the world? Welcome back, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. 8 a.m. EST. Hey, IT, where you are, it's 12?
One.
One, that's it. Yeah. Right. I gotta get my clocks back up. I reorganized my office and I took my world clocks down that I usually have right in front of me. I like the old school analog clocks, you know? Um, it's been an lots of interesting developments on the digital assets uh, charts. Lots of fear. There's fear. Alrighty. Yeah, I had a lot of fun this weekend sitting right here. And, like the thing is like I never get tired of it. It's like every every line of code or whatever, like anything I do on here is just like I just have a lot of fun doing it. I love it.
That's the
Sure.
that's the thing about doing what you love.
Yeah,
You never get tired of it.
yeah. And you're the same, with what you do, right? You just like I probably doing it
Yeah.
all the time. Yeah.
I can sit in front of this chat like
Yeah.
for 15 hours non-stop and
Yeah.
I'll still not be tired.
Oh, yeah. I have sometimes I do figure drawing. So I draw the nude model like in real life, IRL. And yeah, I do that like almost on a weekly basis. But in the for the past month, I've been kind of like slacking a little bit and I haven't been going. So I might go tonight. We'll see. Uh, but it's like 3 hours long. You show up and you bring some like newsprint pads, like big sheets of paper, and this stuff called Conte, which is like these like chalk things, and kind of I guess they're charcoal. Anyways, whatever. And yeah, you just draw and you like learn anatomy and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. I like it. Gives me
Wow.
like an escape. I love,
Mhm.
yeah, I love that kind of stuff too. Like I have a classical animation background, right? So I'm like I've that that's like a hardcore part of that kind of education and training.
Yeah, it's good to have some hobby aside coding.
All right, I think I'm back. Am I back?
Yeah, you're here.
Okay, yeah. I I use this like cable that's actually meant for the MetaQuest, and it's yeah, it doesn't have the same, I guess. It's just different, so it doesn't charge other devices the same. I think maybe it's like too high or something like that, and it like does the reverse. Probably should be more careful with that, but that's to blame for my headphones going on me so quickly. Um, so IT, what's going on with you?
Um, Nothing really much. I'm just
Nice. You finally cleaned the leaves.
yeah, I finally got rid of all the leaves in the garden. Um, I was going to leave them till the summertime,
Yeah,
but I thought, you know what, let me just get rid of them
yeah,
since I have someone coming over.
yeah. I like that. If, sometimes, yeah, if I have like visitors coming, I will deep clean. Yeah. Well, yeah. How do you feel? What do you think? Should we get started on the charts?
Um,
Up to you.
I think yeah, let's get started because today's Monday and maybe there might be a lot to discuss. So,
I think so.
all right, let me share my screen and let me know about the choice. I mean the music if it's too loud. Got a better one today.
Alrighty.
I was actually using it over I think it was Thursday evening
Yeah,
when I was doing some back testing. Right. Okay.
I was back testing the AIs.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Chill. Let's go. Sounds good to me.
Okay. Is the volume okay?
It's perfect.
All right.
Thank you, IT.
Now let's go over to the dollar index. Start with the dollar index.
Ooh, can I say something real quick?
Sure. Go ahead.
Uh, hey, if you're out there and you're just tuning in for the first time, pull out a piece of paper and a pen. Take some notes if you're coming back. Put your charts down. Take out a piece of paper and a pen and just sit there and write things down. Let your subconscious absorb the knowledge. Oh,
Okay. Um, okay. So I think we've had our targets on the downside on dollar index being hit because that's what we were expecting them to reach for 107.16. Um, Now going forward, we're gonna stick with the daily every single day, right? We're gonna expect the daily to keep going down. Now, today being Monday is a new week, and we've had Monday dropping. So sometimes when we start the week and price is going up like that, it could be Monday dropping, Tuesday dropping, Wednesday potentially turning around. And I mentioned that based on the weekly, we will be using this swing. So based on the weekly, we've come back to a nice down candle prior to the move. From the monthly perspective, if we go to the monthly, we are rejecting this previous month high. So we could potentially be coming all the way down here. which is 105.41. Okay, we could potentially be coming there, but that will be up to how the month will close. So how January is going to close, we've got literally this week, Monday to Friday. So if this month can close bearish like this, then we will probably be coming here. Okay, so we will be expecting this week to at least close bearish for us. If we go back to the weekly, we want this week to close bearish for us, and then going forward we'll be expecting them to go to this level, which means we will then be using this range. Okay, so for now, today we want today to close bearish, and then tomorrow close bearish. Wednesday potentially also close bearish, and that can seal the week as a down candle. Let's drop down to the daily. If that's the case, the new targets will be this candle's low, which comes in at 106.69. Then this candle's opening closing price that comes in at 106.38. Okay, so for now, that will be for this week, right? So this week, I'm expecting them to trade to 106.69 and then 106.38. We also have a small little parabolic gap over here, and I would like to see them trade to that. But let's aim for these two targets for now. On the lower time frame, on the H4, this is our mental stop loss for now. So this up candle is going to be a mental stop loss, because that's the buy pattern in here. If they can go above it, then obviously the weekly trend will hold. So if they can go above it, then the weekly trend will hold. The music is a little bit too loud for me. That should be perfect. Okay. So if we switch, which is if we go back above this up candle here, then the weekly trend or the weekly order flow will resume and will continue going up, right? So as long as we are below 107.80, we will expect them to continue going down. So if you are tracking the daily to continue going down, then you can use the H4 to also help you to be very close to price. Okay, you'll be very close to price is always a good thing. So H4, watch the gaps and see, do we start going beyond them? Because if we start going beyond them, then price might be, switching on the near time basis, and that can give you a switch in price action before the high time frame will actually switch, right? In other words, if you're tracking it on the daily, you can keep an eye on the H4, because the H4 is very close to the daily. If the daily is going to switch, you will catch it very quickly on the H4 before it will switch on the daily. So watch 107.80. As long as we're below that, it will go for 106.69 and then 106.38. Okay. At the same time, we are below a previous week low, so anything is possible below previous week lows and previous week highs, right? But I'm sticking to the downside. We have these clean equal lows here, so I think they will go for them. There's nothing really in here, to be honest. um, which is basically, if you look on the daily, all these up candles, there's nothing really there. So the only level that can cause something to happen is exactly where we are now. If we don't get any rejection, any strong, meaningful rejection from there, then I think pretty much we're going to run to all these levels that I've given. And then potentially by the end of the week, we'll close bearish, and then we'll look for the gap that I mentioned on the weekly time frame, which is 105 and 41 and then 104.63. Okay, now let's move on to euro. So on euro, I think the upside objectives that I gave last week, they've reached for them. So it's going to be the same where we don't have much in here. Okay, so they might go all the way up for 1.06308, and then I think we do have a volume imbalance, so let's highlight that here. So let's make it lines so that I can get the levels. So the level comes in at 1.0559 to 1.0567, those two levels, right? And let me bring out the institutional level in there. Okay, so there's no institutional level around that level. So I think they'll go for 106, right? It just will be a potential pause in price when it gets to that volume imbalance. It comes in at 1.0559. So it will just pause. Maybe they will reaccumulate in there, right? A down candle might form in there, and then it will resume going up. So just be careful if you're buying it. When it gets to that level, either take some profit off and then wait for price to resume going higher, right? So ideally, 1.0630, that will be where I will expect them to reach for. If we break that, man, euro is gonna go higher. But let's take them one at a time. In terms of trade ideas, New York session, I think they've already reached for previous week high, so I don't think it's a good thing to actually buy it for today because it's already gone up significantly for the day. So maybe wait for tomorrow, right? Now, if you're going to buy tomorrow, we want today to close above Friday's high. If you're going to buy tomorrow, let today close above Friday's high. Then drop down to the H4 and then look for a pullback during the London session in here. So what you'll be anticipating is for another H4 candle to create a fair value gap in here. And then tomorrow during the London session, anticipate them dropping to form the low of the day and then go higher. That'll be the scenario for tomorrow. Okay. So for today, I don't think you should be doing anything because they've already run for previous week high. Anything is possible above previous week high. Okay. British pound, same thing. I actually got an entry on British pound this morning when we pulled back to this down candle. I think if you're here, you know pull back to down candles is always going to be a buy when we are going higher. And with British pound, I think they're going to break this high, which comes in at 1.2576. I think they're going to take that one out. So expect a break above that high. Now, I would want to see a big aggressive candle above it. Okay. I would like to see a big aggressive candle above that high. And that will be very good for continuation to the upside, probably to attack these clean equal highs up here. Okay, it's too clean. So if we get an aggressive break above it, then I'll be looking for a run above 1.28. Okay. 1.2576, that is the upside objective for the week. And I like the fact that, we've rejected the entire month. That's the beginning of the month. We run down and we rejected. Okay, so from the monthly perspective, that's a big rejection. And that's a very good thing. I want to see them continue going up on British pound. So let's see. Now, on the weekly time frame, it's very, very important for this week to also close above previous week high. And that will leave that. So for whatever happens, we want this week to close bullish so we can have a fair value gap. Okay? We want this week to close bullish so we can have a fair value gap. And we've also gone through this. We've gone through this gap over here with an up candle. So for the down movement, potentially was a buy. And we can project that to the upside. So this week closer is very, very important. Okay. So expect the day to close bullish above Friday. And then you can use the same ideas that I mentioned on Euro to look for a buy on the British pound. So if today closes above, yes, and Friday, drop down to the H4, find a fair value gap, wait for London to drop into it, and you look for a buy to continue going higher, right? Let me show you the buy that I got. So we retrace to the down candle on the H4. That is the high of the down candle. And then during London, it gave a buy pattern in here. You can see we went down, went up, closed above that, price open, drop down. That's a buy. We buy in at this candle's high. And then price expanded to the upside. Took our previous week high. Okay. So that same pattern here, if you look at the time between 6 and 8, that's exactly when price drop. That's exactly what you'll be looking for tomorrow if we close above Friday. Tomorrow you'll be looking for the same time between 6 and 8 for price to drop down, and you look for a buy to continue going higher, right? And that's if we close above Friday. If we don't do anything. Okay, maybe by the time we come here for the session, I will see something and then I'll give you an idea going forward. But if we do close above Friday, then you can do what I've just said. If you don't, sit on your hands and wait for the New York session. Let's go to the Australian dollar. So for the Australian dollar, same thing. I think we reached for our upside objectives. Now on the daily, they went above this high. Unfortunately, they couldn't go above it aggressively like the way I would want it to break. Hence, yes, I think it can go up, but it might not be the strongest pair to look for a buy on it. Why? Because in here, there is no fair value gap. They did not leave any fair value gap. Hopefully, they might leave it on the weekly, which will be okay. because there's nothing on the daily. And whenever price is reversing and they don't leave any breakaway gap, then that's not good. It's not a good reversal. The momentum to the upside will not be good. Hence, we want it to be on the weekly, at least. Therefore, for them to leave a fair value gap on the weekly, it doesn't need to trade to this candle's high. Let me transport that to the other chart. Okay. So we don't want price to trade here. Okay. It's good that it's trading Monday down. That's fine. But we don't want it to come all the way down to 0.6247 to form the low of the week. We don't want that. So where we are now, maybe a run for let me give you the level on the lower time frame right here. So a run below today's low, which comes in at 0.6277. Today will close potentially down, and then tomorrow they'll run today's low and then reject. You can see we have a down candle here, right? So we don't want them to break it. Hence, today can close bearish, and then tomorrow runs today's low, and then we reject, and then we go higher, which will form the low of the week on Tuesday. So ideally something like this, right? And then Wednesday or same day tomorrow, we start rejecting, and then Wednesday goes up, and Thursday goes up. Okay, that's the kind of formation of candles I want to see. Let me zoom in here. Notice this pattern. This candle rejecting the previous candle's high, and then the next one running higher, closing above this. This becomes a very powerful pattern. That is why it's very, very important for them not to go below this candle, because it went above that. So we don't want it to come here. Okay, it's very, very important. It doesn't. So if they do, then these up candles were actually a sell, and we will go lower. Okay, so pay attention to that candle's low. Let's go to New Zealand. Go to the weekly first. So the same narrative. Daily, no fair value gap. Just a little bit, but that's not good. We want it to be a big gap. So on the weekly, we want them to create a gap here. So the same thing, you don't want them to come and touch this candle's low. I'm sorry, this candle's high. So same narrative. With this, it can come over here to form the low of the week, which is somewhere there. And then from here, go higher, right? And that would leave this as a gap on the weekly, and then we expand higher. Whatever happens, I think it will expand higher, but we want them to leave signs that, smart money has come into the market, right? That's why we want them to leave the gap. Okay, so let's see. It's too early to buy because it's Monday, and I've told you guys you don't really want to trade on Mondays. There are exceptions, but ideally sit on your hands on Mondays, see how Monday will finish, and then you trade on Tuesday. Okay, so it actually applies to this pair and the Australian dollar. Now between the Australian dollar, euro, pound, New Zealand, which one would be good buy for the week? In my opinion, will be the New Zealand and the Australian dollar. The question is why? It's because when the week starts, if we are bullish, we want to see a movement down. Okay? If we are bullish, we want to see a movement down. Now, since all the pound and the euro has gone up first instead of down first, right? It makes the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar the favorite. Why? Because it's giving us discount. So New Zealand and Aussie is giving us discount before it goes higher. Okay? So those two will be a nice buy for the week. But I'm here. You will see when it actually gives the entry, and then I'll give you a trade idea on them. In terms of upside objectives, I think we'll be trading to 0.5750. Okay, that will be the upside objective for the New Zealand. Let's go to Aussie. Aussie has touched that candle's low. Actually did not touch it. So that would be the upside objective, and this one. 0.6345. It says 0.6332 and then 0.6345. That will be the upside objectives for the Australian dollar. Okay, so once we get an entry, maybe tomorrow or Wednesday for the long, then these will be the upside objectives, right? The New Zealand CAD is still potentially a buy to continue going higher. We are yet to reach for the target, which comes in at 0.8214. So I was actually looking at for a buy today. Right, we traded back to this down candle, so I'm expecting it to give a buy idea. So watch on the 1 hour time frame. You want to see a close, something like this. You want to see something like this. Okay, down, then up immediately. Then you look for the buy. I was watching this candle to close, but it didn't. And then rejected. So watch. They've printed one up, one down, and then potentially down. So watch the next hour. If it can go up like this, then you can start looking for a buy, right? In terms of a day, okay, the daily, we don't want them to go below this one. This down candle. We don't want to see them go below it. For the day, not for the week, for the day, for today. As long as we're above it, I will expect higher prices. It could be our first reaccumulation because all of these are all up candles, right? So it's, I would say it's a good idea for them to print one down candle so that it can reaccumulate, and then we expect a continuation to the upside. I've seen this pattern before. That was back in, yeah. We had a huge move to the upside. But it was actually on the weekly. Let me go to the weekly and show you. Yeah. Or just pure weekly up candles for about 8 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks. Pure up candles. So we could be doing something like that in here. So this is week 1. This is week 2. So this week might be another week where we go up. Now, why do I say that? Most of the time, when there's no resistance, if there's nothing to stop price over here, okay, that is when you can have such big movements. So on New Zealand CAD, I will expect this week to also close bullish, and that will leave a big gap over here as well, right? So start watching it on the daily, and on the H4, this is your mental stop loss for now, for the day, okay? Let's go to gold. So gold, this week I'm expecting a run for 2790.32. I think they are going to run for that high. Hence, I want to see this week at least take out that high. Starting the week, they are dropping first on the daily into a down candle, which is the spot, right? The gold spot, straight into a down candle. So anticipate a rejection and then go higher. On the H4, I think it's the futures that closed above the previous candle. The spot couldn't do it. So watch and look for a H4 down candle and a H4 up candle closing above the down candle. Essentially something like this. Once you see that, then look for a buy to continue going up. Okay, so sit on your hands and wait for now. Once you see down candle and then up candle closing above it immediately, then you look for the buy. In the morning, I was watching this to see if they could have closed above it, and it didn't. That is on the spot. On the futures, it did. Okay, so on the futures, if you want to buy, I think during this session, you can look for a buy here, or wait for the 1 hour to give you a rejection. I prefer you watch the spot. Okay, I prefer you watch the spot. Why? Because on the spot there is a gap on the H4. This one, we actually gap down, and that's what is rejecting price. Okay, so watch the spot. Let the spot give you a close above a down candle. By the time it does it, you will see that the futures will also be going up. Then you look for a buy. You don't have to buy it as it is now. Just be patient. Let it give you something. Okay, for now, it's not good. I don't like this gap. Okay, gaps are very, 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 very powerful when there is no handle. It's called volume imbalance. It's too powerful to go against it, even on a lower time frame. Okay, so ideally, if we can even close above this, that's when it would be best to look for the buy. But if it gives you this pattern whilst we're below it, that's okay, and then you can buy to continue going higher. Okay, so if you do trade this, the futures, I think better wait, because yes, there is no volume imbalance in here, but I think they correlate. Hence, it can go back down, take out this low before rejecting. On the daily, it's the same. They have a down candle here, and we want them to hold. They actually raided Wednesday's low. So most of the time, this kind of price pattern will hold and then go up. In future, I'll talk about whenever we have this, pattern here. This pattern, right? If the candle rejects the low, it creates a high resistance. That high resistance, most of the time, will hold. If price was to ever come below it like this, it will reject immediately. If it comes below it like that, it will reject immediately. So for whatever happens, I will be looking for higher prices, especially Monday dropping. When we are bullish, I'll be looking for higher prices. So it's either they stay It's either they stay inside this wick and then reject and go higher, or they can come all the way down, take out this, and then immediately reject. Remember, when price is dropping, it's good for a buy. So don't think that this drop is going down. Okay. In terms of going down, that's if they can close below this candle. That's when you can switch. But I don't think that will be the case for now. Right? So wait patiently. Crude oil, same thing. I was expecting Friday to go all the way up and close above this, and it couldn't. Now, today, it's very, very important that this candle does not close as a down candle. Okay, very, very, very important that we don't close as a down candle. I apologize for my voice. Yesterday I was not feeling pretty well, so has affected my voice. Right, so it's important that this candle does not close as a down candle. Why? Because if it does, then that will be redistribution. Yeah, right, and we don't want that. So today we must reject this previous week low. All right, it doesn't have to be an up candle, big up candle to go up, but we don't want it to be a down candle. Okay, if it ends up as a down candle, then there is a problem. We might be coming a little bit lower before we continue going higher. Right, on the weekly time frame, this. Right, this is the gap. We are going to expect them to respect it. Okay, that's why taking out the previous week low is all that it requires for price to reject and go back up. Right, so it's very, very important, I repeat, that this week or even today does not close below Friday's low. Okay, so with that idea, we can even start looking for a scalp on the lower time frame for a long. To drop down. Okay, you can look for potential long, because I like the way they rejected the previous week. So you can look for a scalp to go up if you do trade crude oil. Right, but it's still early for the week. Okay, it's just Monday. If I'm an investor, I'll be weighing out how the week is going to be like. So you watch sentiment, you look at how the retail traders are going to be positioning themselves, and then you go against them. Okay, which is too early for you to weigh what they are going to do. So just patiently wait. If you're a scalper, then yes, you can go in and look for some scalps long during this New York session, right? Let's go to the cryptos. So last week, let's start with let's do Solana first. I didn't want to see this last week close as an inside candle, right? So a lesson for you: anytime we close as an inside candle, anticipate the low of the inside candle to be run, to be taken out. Okay, anytime we close as an inside candle, whether bullish or bearish, expect the low to be run, meaning they will go and attack that inside candle's low, and then price will reject. Right, if we are bullish, it will reject and go higher. If we are bearish, it will reject and then go lower. So I'm not surprised to see we open and then we run for the low. Right, so on the daily, this will give us one up candle, 1, 2, hence that's it. We don't want them to go any lower again. This is the gap on the daily. We want it to be respected. Okay, so today must close potentially like this, and then tomorrow we open and we go higher. That's what I want to see for Solana going forward. So we might come back up maybe to the previous, sorry, this week opening price, and then stay there till end of the day, something like this. So come and touch this, and then reject, and then stay there. And then tomorrow, big push to go back up, close above this high, and then the next day, a continuation to the upside to clean out all these highs. Watch previous week low. We don't want price to close below it. Okay. If we are going up, we don't want candles closing below previous week's low. I think I've shared enough for you to know. So let's see. Okay. Now, another thing that you need to pay attention to on Solana, this candle, that's the breaker. That's why you're seeing the rejection. The last up candle prior to the move down. That's a breaker. So don't be surprised seeing that rejection there. Right? And it's very good to reject there. So it's important again that we don't go below that. So there's so many reasons for price to stay bullish, right? So just anticipate today closing as it is, potentially. I like it to be like that. I like the down candle to be like this. Don't want it to go all the way up and become like a doji candle. It can, but I don't like it. When I say I don't like it, it doesn't mean it cannot happen. It just means that there's a specific pattern that when it forms is good for bullishness. Now, when price is rejected with a buy, okay, when they print down candles, if you study turning point in price, this or this, okay, these are the two types of turning points that you want to see. If it's going to be a very good turning point, it's either, there's another one. These types. There's three types. There's four, but three is enough for now. Okay, so you're gonna have something like this, right? It's either this last down candle will close below, this last down candle will reject this low, or it will just be a doge, an engulfing candle, big one, to reject and go higher. Okay, so when I'm expecting a reversal, I'm reading how the candles are forming. So if you want to understand why I was saying what I was saying, for it to come up, reject, and then stay there, that will create this one. Maybe this with the candle closing below that, and then the next day will go up and close above this, and then that will turn price around. Okay, or that one, which looking at where this candle's low is, right, is too far away. So if it's going to go up, then it should be that one, which is we reject this low and then go all the way up and close above it, which I don't think that will be the case for today, because that will mean, I don't know, it will trade down like this and then go all the way up. That's too much. Okay, so this will be the pattern that ideally is likely to form. So that's why I'm giving you the way I'm anticipating price. Okay, so there's always a reason why I say what I say. Maybe I might not go into details, but here I just decided to give you why I'm expecting that type of candle. Because when price is turning around, it always turns around with some kind of a specific pattern, right? So that's why this candle must stay as it is, and then next day we go up, confirming that we are turning around. Okay. And when we do get these type of reversal, that's basically what the institutions do. That's what their money does anyway. The same idea is for Bitcoin. Okay, we have this up, and then we have 1, 2, 3 on the weekly. Took out a week high, so we have to take a week low. Okay, but the same idea stands. I want to see this candle reject previous week low. As long as we are above this down candle, we will go higher. Hence, this should stay above this. Today should stay as a down candle. Ideally, go up a little bit more. So go up and touch the weekly opening price and then reject and then stay there. Okay. Then tomorrow, go higher. If we don't get that and then tomorrow closes below that, then they'll be coming for the fair value gap, which is this area here. Okay. So if we do not close bullish tomorrow and you close bearish, then they'll be coming for this fair value gap. Then we will see how price is going to trade. We also like the fact that we open the week and it's dropping first. It's always a good thing, not a bad thing. So as we've opened and it dropped, that's good for a bullish buy for the week. Okay, so patient, wait. I don't think it's ready to go up yet. So just sit on your hands and wait. Ethereum, that is a problem. They've gone through this gap, yeah. And on the lower time frame, on the daily, there's nothing, in my opinion, to hold price. I don't see anything in here, except on the H4. Hence, I think that this is just my thought process for Ethereum, because it's been the weakest among all the cryptos, the major ones. I think they might come for this low again. And then once they do, it might immediately reject, because it has the reversal pattern that I just taught you. Whenever we have a low, and then they run it. This is a pattern that I discovered, I think, back in 2021, and you can back test it. When you have a wick like this, and then you have another wick rejecting the previous wick, okay? There's two wicks. When you have a wick and another wick rejecting it, the third candle or the third wick that comes below it, it will reject it immediately. Okay, so go and back test it on your chart and you see several examples. When you have a wick and you have another wick taking out the previous wick, so two wicks, one wick, two wicks, and then a third wick, it reject immediately. So I will not be surprised to see Ethereum run for 2930 and then immediately reject it. That would be ideal. It'll be healthy. I don't want to see them go up from here. That will leave equal low. If they go up from where we are, that will leave equal low. That's dangerous. So it's better they come and attack this low and then it reject immediately. Okay, so for Ethereum, if you're going to do any buy, I would think stay away from Ethereum for now, right? Maybe look at Solana and BTC and stay away from Ethereum because it's too weak, right? But I would prefer they come for this low before the rejection. If it goes up from here, it's not good. That will leave it go low. hype. So I think hype has moved into a consolidation, and these clean equal lows, that would be best for them to come for it. Ideally in a consolidation, that's what price will do anyway. It will run highs and run lows. So on hype, I think they're going to come for these lows. So maybe the downside is not done. They might come for the previous week low, a weekly high taken, a weekly low be taken. And if they do come for this low, I don't think they will reject there. They might come for that as well. So on hype, selling would be a best idea. I think from where we are, I would sell it and go lower, or use this range, this high to this low. If you happen to pull back, sell it back down. Take out the previous week low and this low here. Okay, now let me zoom in. That's too clean. Okay, that is why they will come for it. And we also have one here. It's too clean, so they will come for it. So look for lower prices on hype. XRP, the gap on the daily is still there, so we are still bullish. On the weekly, inside candle, so they're gonna come for the low. It's the beginning of the week and we see a drop first. So I think the same narrative starts for Ripple. So I'm expecting Ripple to also continue going up. Hence, tomorrow you want an up close candle. If we get an up close candle, ideally immediately closing above this, then we resume going up, unlike this equal high. Okay, they've engineered it. It means it was done intentionally so that they'll come back for it. That's why we'll be expecting a continuation to the upside. Whatever happens, as long as we're above this down candle, because that's the last down candle, the upside still remains. So for now, this equal high 3.396, and the projection that we did, which brings us to the 2% extension, that level will be your target for the continuation. $3.564. Okay, so the equal high and the 3.56, that will be the upside objective. So watch for tomorrow. Immediate close, then we look for the buy. If you don't get immediate close, sit on your hands and wait. But I'm here, so we will see. Let's go to AI on the weekly chart. So I was doing high time frame analysis. We don't have enough data, but based on the monthly, this might end up as the first reaccumulation. Why? Because on the weekly, it failed to use the 3 down candles. Okay, meaning 1, 2, 3. It should have gone up by now, but on the daily, we have 1 up candle in the mix. So we expected, or I was expecting all this to be down, 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 to take out this low and then reject from this gap. But they printed an up here. Now, it's the same thing that I was showing you on crude oil. If we print an up, then the next candle should reject and go up, so that we only have 3. But if they print down, it means they redistributed here. And if we have a redistribution, then we will have two or three down candles again. Okay, one, two, and potentially three down candles again. Hence, it might come and touch this previous month high, and then we will get a potential rejection. Or the entire month of January will be a buy. So it's all a buy on the monthly, not on the weekly. They've gone way beyond the number of candles that will be used to buy. So it will be a buy on the monthly. Hence, next month, you want to see price reject and then start going up again. Okay. So an AI on the weekly time frame, watch these candles high. We might come, touch it, and then we start rejecting. So start watching for your buy pattern to form on the daily from these candles high or these candles. It's very close. So any of them, all you're doing is waiting for the pattern to appear, and then you go in, starting looking for a buy. Right now, I think I've thought a lot within the last 1 month for you to identify when a buy is coming in. Okay, that's why it's important to study how institutions buy and sell. Because if you're looking to buy, the signals will be there. If it's not there, then you sit on your hands. Okay. So one up, one down, one more down, then rejection. Also, the monthly candle will have a high and a low. The low, most of the time, will not be like this. It'll be a wick. So if you think closely, the month is about to close. So there's definitely going to be something like this, a wick. This month, it went all the way up, rejected, and then closed with that wick. This month, went all the way up and then rejected and closed with a wick. That's how the monthly candle, 70 to 80%, that's how it closes. So where we are now, we have about 4 days before the month will close. So there is going to be definitely something like this, a wick. But that's why you can anticipate a buying pattern forming. Okay. Again, I'm here. You're gonna see. It's gonna form and you see it. And then let's go to the last one. Our favorite one, Tatsuo.
That's all.
Okay. So, I mentioned the fact that they closed through the gap. This one, price was gonna come and attack this low, and then we got that. I don't see a potential buy yet because of this up candle. It doesn't qualify for potential buy. Hence, I think we'll go down one more to attack this equal lows. Still clean, get very close to it. I think they'll go and attack those equal lows. Like I said, this is not a buy pattern. Initially, we had this up, then down, then down, then down. Had this candle not be there, this up candle, then this rejection would have been a very, very good rejection for you to anticipate the potential close above this down candle. Then we can resume expecting big range candles to give us a gap, but that wasn't the case, right? Hence, I don't think this is going to reverse price. It will come back down in here and then potentially the gap. It's not actually a gap, but for now, there's no candle here. Had we had one can do. Yeah. Then this would be a gap. But I'm calling it a gap because we have a big move away from here. So on the H4, there is something. Okay. And that's what I want to see price reject from. So that's all. We might drop below this equal low. And then potentially here before the buy might come in. But now this is a short-term bounce. I think it will reject and come back down again. Okay. Now, if we can go, for me to be bullish, we have to go back up here. That's when I'll switch. Even if we break this high, I still think we'll come back down again because I have not seen the buy pattern, right? So again, wait patiently. If you are a long term, wait patiently for the pattern to form and you buy. This has spoiled everything and formed on the Saturday. It changed everything, right? So patient. If you are a day trader, I think looking to go for this equal low be ideal. Look for a sell, attack this equal low. That'll be the best trade. I think pretty much that's it. I apologize. I'm not feeling well. So
Oh no.
yeah, yesterday was I think it was too windy and in the rain,
Right,
so
right. Yeah, you were cleaning the leaves.
just
That's right.
updating.
And well, I hope you feel better, you know. I know what that's like. I'm
Yeah,
sure everybody does, but
it makes me very slow. Unlike
did you wear a scarf?
sorry.
Did you wear a scarf and
No,
gloves?
no.
No.
I thought I'm doing
In a
something
t-shirt?
active. Yeah, I was wearing a t-shirt.
Yeah, there
I
you
was
go.
doing something active to keep me warm, but it's too cold. It's too
My
cold.
my inner grandma, all my inner grandma ancestors are shouting right now. Make sure to wear a scarf, or put on a jacket, put on a sweater.
Yeah, that's what my mom was saying.
I yeah. I wanted to draw some attention back to Tetsuo because I'm really proud of all the stuff that's rolling out, and especially from like an open source, the open source kind of community and the CASM group. In terms of just like from a technical perspective, like it's really nice to see like the agency framework, just amazing. Like what is going on. Like I don't think people really understand what the the tools that are getting
Developed.
formulated, developed, and by the community, right? Like it's really cool, and it's not just cool. It's has super utility, and C is it's a low level language. All the hardware runs on it, right? And it's like people just don't understand yet. I mean, the entire market's in a downturn right now, especially with AI tokens and essentially, as we see dips on crypto and stuff like that, right? The reaccumulation and all that. But like if you look at technology, if you look at the vision, like what the Tetsuo team is doing is like I'm always amazed by it, and yeah, it's nice to be part of the CASM community and watch all this roll out, and yeah, like I'm a I love coding, and one of my passions is to contribute to open source frameworks, and like agency is just like a perfect thing to contribute to, especially considering the integration with Solana and things like that too on a hardware level. it's
Hmm.
it's it's super inspiring, right? It gets me going, and I can't wait to get my fingers wet in some code and start to contribute a little bit more.
Yeah, and I think anything to do with AI nowadays is the way to go, right?
Yeah, AI
Anything
and
to do with
yeah,
AI.
yeah, fair enough. Yeah. I mean, that's a very general approach. I wouldn't say anything to do with AI, only because there's definitely there's definitely a lot of stuff out there that's kind of like generalist as well, right? Like it's like just latching on, right? But there are projects that are have real utility, that have long-term visions, and with founders who have dedicated their life's work
Mhm.
initially, like
Mhm.
and like for since,
Yeah,
so,
I generalized it because obviously anything to do with AI right now is a hot cake. But if you are going to invest as an investor, I don't think you generalize stuff, right? You
right,
have to look into stuff before you actually
absolutely.
invest in something. So that's always going to be the case where you have to do the due diligence to investigate or to research about what the company is doing
Yeah,
and how it's going to impact the market. Is it, for example, if you had the um, if you had a time capsule and you go back in time and then look at Amazon and you saw Amazon was starting up, right? Trading at, I don't know, 10 cent.
yeah.
Okay.
I was there. I was
And you
there.
do a research and then you see the potential that Amazon is going to be something huge in 20 years' time. You'll be buying it, right? The same
Well,
thing.
yeah. I mean, you know what? Like what you do as well, like you are a time machine yourself, right? Like I was talking to SB Das, but the
Hmm.
Elliott waves are a time machine, you know. It's a it's
That's what.
all the technicals are and all the finding the fingerprints of the institutions. This is time machine quality stuff, right?
Yeah, and that's why I
Yeah.
was saying that, it's still at a very cheap, even though it's, let me go back to the chart, right? Even though it went up to um, 0.64 and then now we are back to 0.13, it's, would you buy here or rather buy here, right? You think about it, but it's just the mindset, switching your mind from looking at, okay, if it's up here, it's too expensive. If it's down here, it's cheap. Let me buy it down here. Is that just that switching of the brain? Okay, that's what most people struggle with when it comes to trading, because the idea of it being here because it's dropping means that it's gonna keep going down, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So
I
it's
laugh
just a matter
because
of switching perspective.
yeah, I laugh at like if you pull up the AI 16Z chart and
Yeah, same
put,
thing.
yeah, put it up on a 15-minute and zoom all the way out, right? Or and look at the log. I mean, it's that's the thing is yeah, and keep going back in time there. Does it let you do that?
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. It's essentially like the pattern for every single token that has utility and go right to the beginning. I don't know if this provider will show that, but
Yeah.
essentially
Yeah.
it goes, you see it goes up. If you go right to the
It
beginning,
goes
yeah, it
up
goes all the way up and then
and
it
then comes
drops
all the way down
all the way down. And then people are scared. And then
and
what
then it goes
happens?
up.
Product release, product release, product release, product release, product release, right? It's like, okay, come on, just you know what? Paper hands.
That's because when it actually first comes out, right, that's the initial stage, right?
Yeah,
So investors will be actually just watching. Okay, is it good?
right.
Is it bad? Is it good? Okay. If it's good, it's gonna go down and then they will accumulate it because they want cheaper price. They're not gonna buy inflated price.
Yeah,
Look at Trump's coin.
exactly. Yeah, same.
Shoot up and then comes right back down.
I mean,
What do you see?
different scale, different proportions, but still, every single digital asset. That's pretty much that's how it goes. You know, it's like
Hmm.
until the
Hmm.
and how long does it take? Like if we look at the proportions on time, if we do some Gann cycle analysis on this, you could see there's a correlation between the, anything that has utility does have a time proportion as well, right? And yes, with the it's timed with releases and marketing and all that, investors coming on board. But yeah, like there's it's early. It's an early game. Like it's everything. Everyone's just getting started. People are realizing, what's real, what's not, right?
Hmm.
And it's
Hmm.
yeah, it's I don't know. I just love this space. I love this entire um I guess the tech stratosphere, right?
I always like just I don't say comparing, but um if someone knew Apple will be trading at what is trading at now in I don't know, even in the year 2000, right?
Yeah.
You'll be buying as much as you can. And this is also at the very early stage. So it's always going to be look at what they are doing. Does it have value for the future? Because if it does, you have to be someone with, I don't know, vision. You have to look at the long term. Yeah, don't look at the short term. Don't look at, I don't know, the last 1 month, the last 2 months. You have to look at the next minimum 5 years, the next 3 years. And then from that perspective, look into the project. How is it going to benefit the public? If it's something that is going to benefit the public, then yes, it will have value. It doesn't matter what it's doing now, it will have value. And then you can invest in it. Anyway, I think our time
Amazing.
is up. The speakers will be coming
Oh,
in 10 minutes.
geez, you
So
know what?
let's
I'm
end
like,
today.
I always, I get so um, hyper involved, I just forget about time completely.
Hopefully I'll feel very, very better tomorrow. So we can do much better because today I'm not in my elements. I'm not in the flow. So
Send some healing energy your way, brother.
thanks, man. All right. So